the easier decisions to automate, easier products to automate are like Poland Springs, right? So if you're going to build one thing, clear case for automation. You're doing volume, multiple shifts, repetitive process, makes perfect sense. So those are the early products to automate. Now, again, with reshoring and even with just changing markets and just companies trying to be competitive, you have to automate more higher mix environments, or there's not, you don't have to. There's more reason to automate higher mix environments. So flexibility now at that level suddenly can't just be handled by people anymore. So just out of necessity, it's going that way. But reshoring brings it faster, I think. So we're definitely seeing it. The challenge is then again to find, we mentioned before all the variables that are complex, right, between salespeople and choices on the menu and all those other things we mentioned. If you throw in high mix in there, it's even more complicated, right? Because now we have to think, I've got 10 products and multiple variations of those products, and it's hard. So at that point, as a manufacturer, that's the point you want to start removing variables, as many as you can, right? So we can't change our mix. That's how it is. We can't change our market. We love our market, so we're going to sell a complex mix of products to a complex market. That's when you want to get rid of some of the variables on the automation side. How can I want to make sure I'm not reinventing the wheel. I want to make sure I'm not building some Frankenstein custom thing. And I don't want to have 20 suppliers putting together one solution for me, because that's also more variables. And who do I go to when it goes wrong? And I'm not getting the data off the line. So at the high mix level, that's when, even more than at the high volume level, automation needs to be simplified and more platform-esque, or it's just another barrier you face when you try to automate. And that's the challenge for these higher mix manufacturers, especially people when they're reshoring. So we are seeing it. We're just seeing, them pushing, I think, the manufacturing or the automation solution providers more towards simplicity, function, clear value, as opposed to buzzwords. You'll see a big executive at a large product company will sit through a presentation with buzzwords. The smaller shop with an independent owner that's got high mix has no time for it. They've got too many things to think about. Yep. So it's a different approach.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on high mix before we continue on, Vlad?
I think that's where ultimately manufacturing is going, and that's what we're going to see more and more of. Again, I think we talked about this off stream, Dave, a little bit, but ultimately you need to be able to respond to the demand from the consumers, right? And that's going to change more and more rapidly, because again, we are ourselves maybe introducing many choices, but every single manufacturer is going to have to be able to, again, I think the concept is not necessarily new, but it's just being pushed, I think, to its limit. But just-in-time manufacturing has been growing fairly rapidly in every single end user that I have worked with. And they're trying to make it as quickly as possible, as customizable as possible. And there's a lot of moving parts to that. But again, I agree with everything that we've discussed a bit earlier, that there's a lot of challenges with that